Okay, so let me talk about the past 2 months. The past 2 months we have here the Seven of Cups, okay? And I feel like within the past 2 months, it was like this, where there were a lot of options, where there were a lot of things, projects, work, environments, and you're just like, should I go with that? Should I help this person with that? Should I go with that project? Should I accept this job? Should I, get myself enrolled here? So I feel like there were a lot of demand for you, where to invest your time, which project you should take on, or who you should take under your wing so that you can be a good mentor to them, or even what job you should accept and which ones you should decline. Okay, so I feel like these options, one by one, they have dropped off the face of the planet. So I feel like you're left, you have made a decision. There were contracts signed, so you can no longer backtrack and say, oh, I changed my mind, I don't want to do that anymore. And this is a card where you're disseminating information, a lot of information to the public. So I feel like you have agreed to do this. You are contractually bind in and locked in right now. And so you don't really have the luxury to say like, oh, if I chose this option, I wonder how it would have worked out. If I went with option A, would I be in a better place right now? So the whole process of fantasizing, planning things out, or at least playing them out in your head, you don't have that luxury anymore because you've already decided on something. And whatever you have decided on, if it's last month, like in September, or if it's this month, it's going to be very fast. It's going to happen in a very expedited way. It's going to be, hitting the ground running. There's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of success as well. But this is a card to be a little bit mindful of because you're dealing with a lot of opposition energy, okay? The people that you're interacting with, especially in the work environment, they're very different from you. They could be very different culturally, linguistically, values-wise. So you have to kind of bring yourself down to their level to approach them from where they're coming from. So, for example, if you're in academia, and, when you talk to your colleagues, everyone's on the same page. You use the same vocabulary. You use the same way, you use the same acronyms. You use the same operating system. So when you talk to them, it's very smooth. If you can spend 30 seconds to explain really complicated concepts, and they're also in academia, they're also in the same field, so they get it. But I feel like this card is telling you to slow down a little bit, know your audience, know who you're talking to, kind of have a baseline assessment and understanding of where they're coming from so that you can explain things to them in a way that makes sense to them. So for example, you're not going to talk to a 3-year-old the way you talk to a 30-year-old, right? So I feel like knowing your audience and not overreach, overshoot, not assume that they know everything. So you need to establish a baseline level with them before they can be receptive to the information that you present, okay? So whatever you decided on, whatever project that you're doing, whatever work environment you have accepted, I feel that it's going to be happening to you very, very fast. There's going to be training where you're forced to discipline yourself. You're forced to be a lot more conservative with your time. You're forced to be a lot more structured and very disciplined. So the energy about being, scattered, overestimating the amount of time that you have, I feel like that's going to be a big problem. That's fading away into your past. And so you need to learn to be a lot more disciplined, diligent with the work that you're doing. Once again, dealing with the public, okay? So this is a card about collaboration. This is a card about, working, people coming in, consulting you, you're giving them advice so that they know how to move forward, okay? And so you're going to be in high demand. You're going to have to contact or be in contact with a lot of people, different people, different cultures, different languages even. And so everyone has a common purpose, has a common goal. It might not feel like that, but you're there for a reason. They're there for the same reason. So it's all about how can we all, put our heads together to problem solve. And so for many of you, you might be in a position where your work, if you're at work and you're training or you're learning things or you're trying to fill in these knowledge gaps, there's somebody in the picture that might be lording over you. They might be supervising you. They might be overseeing the work that that you're doing, and you feel like they're not giving you input that is very helpful. They're not giving you constructive feedback, or the way they explain things can be a little bit confusing, so you don't really know what they expect from you, okay? And so the point is, this is not somebody who's very hands-on. They tell you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but they don't really explain. They don't walk through the process with you, why you should do this, what you're hoping for. And so there's a lot of energies where you can make it your own. You know, they're not micromanaging you. They're not telling you in tedious detail, I want this, 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 this. Even though that might actually be helpful for you this month. They want you to make it your own, or they don't want to. It's almost like somebody is either giving you information, but they're not being very thorough. They're not being very clear. They're not being very logical. So they expect you to get the experience and to learn it in a very hands-on type of way. And that's it, okay? So make it your own. Do whatever you think is the right thing. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of success. So I don't feel you're going to be making mistakes. I don't fear that you're going to be you know, thwarted in any way. I do feel you have a lot of support overall, and you know what you're doing, so they trust that you know what you're doing, and that's why they're not giving you, you know, they're not being micromanaging you, because they trust you. And so once again, this is not a quiet month, okay? You're not going to have a lot of time to take care of yourself and to I guess like slack off. Okay, so this is pretty much the end to rest and restitution. So it's pretty much like hitting the ground running. You're going to be very, very busy, and you need to just work through it. If you feel like, oh, I want to take a break, or I want to just, you know, take it easy, lie low, I don't feel that energy is conducive for this month. It's pretty much hitting the ground running. Take care of yourself. So Sagittarius, I can't stress enough, you need to be very, very disciplined with your time. Make sure you don't overestimate, like coming in late, or you think you have, you know, 15 minutes, and so you dither around, and then before you know it, and half an hour has passed by. So time management is really crucial this month. Don't let your imagination get away from you. Look at facts, look at figures, and dig a little bit deeper. I feel like this is kind of like the story that people feed you, the fantasy, and this is the reality of something. So I feel like digging a little bit deeper, getting to the reality of the situation so that you know which direction to go. That's very crucial. And time management, don't spend, you know, some of you are very good at this, like you know, like wasting time watching videos, wasting time just lying in bed staring at the wall. So time management, very, very crucial. Take care of yourself, take care of practical responsibilities. I felt this for Aquarius a few months ago, I believe back in July, and then they literally hit the ground running August, September, and now moving in October, and I feel like they're settling down. For you, I'm starting to feel this, and I feel it is very crucial for you to get your affairs in order so that you're not lagging behind and you're not wasting time, okay? So time management is very crucial. The other thing that is coming through in this spread here, this is money. This is basically dipping into your savings, okay? Be a little bit careful about this. This is a card about poverty, and it's a card about possibly dealing with people who are in very dire situations concerning their finances. They might not have the resources. They might not have the way to kind of like help themselves, but there is shelter, there is sanctuary, there is aid and assistance. And so I feel like for many of you, if you're out there adrift and like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how I'm going to get by, I don't know what I can do to take care of myself, I feel like relying on non-sectarian, organizations, non-religious organization, or even religious organization. So if you're kind of like on the outs and you're trying to find work, or you're trying to find, assistance in some way, do a little bit of digging. Once again, that digging image, internet research, web research, finding resources that are available for you so that you can pick yourself up off your, so that you can get yourself up and going. That's going to be very crucial as well. Being very resourceful with the information that is at your disposal. So for example, if you're in a relationship, for example, if you're in a relationship that is, you know, less than stellar, if you're dealing with fear, anxiety, and abuse, and you're just like, if I leave, I don't know where I'm going to go, look at organizations, look at programs, do a little bit of internet research to see what shelters are available and things like that. So the dissemination of information is going to be very crucial. Somebody might be giving you the information, and then it's up to you to follow up. And I see many of you are kind of like, okay, I have the information, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it tomorrow. And so you can be very good at procrastination as well, like procrastinating as well. So if there is information that you feel like, okay, I'm going to do it, make sure you do it. Don't just let the information rest in your hands and feel like, I'm going to do it another day, because I feel like you're very good at doing this, telling yourself you're going to do it and then delaying the process, and then nothing really happens. Okay, so I'm feeling many of you either are in this position where you're just trying to find resources, or you're in this position where you're in a leadership capacity and you're dealing with people that are kind of like on the down and outs, and you're leading them to the proper resources. And either way, it's very good, because there is help, there is assistance, and there is forward momentum. It's just a matter of, you know, taking the first step, right? So moving forward though, I do feel if you have recently started a job, it came in like this, the job offer came in like this, and you feel like, I don't know if it's paying me well enough. I don't know if, you know, the work itself is worthwhile, but you really like your coworker. The environment with coworker, it seems like they're very cooperative, they're very good people, and everyone is there with their hearts in the right place, with their intentions in the right place. And, you know, I feel like that's going to go a long way. It's not really about the job, but it's about the camaraderie. And you like the camaraderie, you like the people that you work with. So even though it might not pay that well, you like where you are. So I feel like many of you, you're in a good environment right now where you like the social circle that you're surrounding yourself with. And so while you're thinking, did I make the right choice? Did I choose the right route for me? I feel like many of you are still kind of like hesitating back and forth. You know, did I do the right thing? Can I backtrack and pick something else? And that's fine. But towards the end of this month, I feel like you're going to be in a position where you can help others, and you're going to be a leader in your own rights, and you're going to be giving a lot of information to people, and it's going to help you feel a little bit more sure and certain that you're on the right track. Okay, so overall, very, very busy month, Sagittarius. Don't waste time. Plan out your schedule, have to-do lists, and be just diligent about taking care of your responsibilities. I feel like the next 3 months is going to be hitting the ground running. There is a lot of green light energy. There's a lot of success coming in for you, and you're dealing with a lot of people in a very I want to say like a busy, professional, high impact environment. What you say is very, very crucial. So make sure you say things that are correct.